Your next one is
State calls Lynn Deming.
Good afternoon. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? You do solemnly swear the evidence and the testimony you're to give in this cause will be the truth, so help you God. You have a seat over here. Make the microphone comfortable for you and speak up so everybody can hear you.
Yes, sir.
You may proceed.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Deming. I said your name, but please state your full name for the record.
Lynn Deming,
And Ms. Deming, where are you currently employed?
Legacy Elementary.
Okay. And what is your job position?
I'm a STEM teacher, 3 through 5th grade.
And what is Legacy?
It's the new campus, formerly Robb, so it's the new campus.
For which school district?
Uvalde, CISD.
Okay. In May of 2022, where were you employed?
Robb Elementary as a 4th grade teacher.
Okay. And what camp? Oh, you said Robb Elementary. Okay. And how long had you been working at Robb Elementary?
At that time, I think 6 years.
Okay. And what grades were you teaching?
4th grade.
And how long had you been an employee of the Uvalde Independent School District?
6 years.
Okay. What was your room number at the time of May of 2022?
104.
Okay. And I'm going to, Judge, may the witness get up and approach the board?
Yes.
Was that little point? I'm going to ask you to show the jury on this board. This is a map of Robb Elementary. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And can you show the jury where on this map is the 4th grade building?
This building, ma'am.
Okay. And where on this building on this map was your classroom?
Somewhere in this area.
Okay. Sounds good. You can have a seat. And again, what was that classroom number?
104.
104. Now, have you received training as to lockdown procedures?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you explain to the jury and for the record what those procedures were in May of 2022 for the Uvalde Independent School District?
Lights, lock out of sight, so you lock lights out of sight, sorry. So you lock your door, be sure your door's locked. You turn your lights off and cover your windows, and you hide.
Okay. And who provided that training to you?
Admin, I'm sure. I don't necessarily remember exactly.
And was that the training, the same training that was provided to the students?
Yes.
Okay. And how often did you receive that training? Was it once a year, twice a year?
We had to do lockdown drills. I don't know how many times that's
Okay.
required.
Okay. So with regard to those lockdown trainings, you said lights out, lockdown, and what are the kids specifically trained to do?
Hide and get quiet. So depending on where your room was, depending on where you wanted your kids to hide and just get quiet.
Okay. Now, you told us where your room was. Can you explain to the jury, when you walked into your classroom, what did we see? Where was your desk? Where were the windows? Things like that.
Directly walking into my classroom to the right, there was a long desk that was connected to the wall, and then my desk was at the corner, sort of in front of that, but it was long. Across directly when you walked in was a wall of 2 windows, basically, and I had bookshelves there. And then my students sat pretty much in dead center of the classroom.
Okay. Did you have covers on the windows?
There were blinds on the window. I usually kept them open just
Okay.
to get sunlight.
Okay. I'm going to take you back now to May 24th of 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
What were your normal work hours on that day?
Just a regular school day, so 7:30 to 4.
Okay. And on that day, was there something specific going on, something special going on for the day?
The award ceremony was that day.
Okay. And what time was your award ceremony?
I don't remember specifically. It was before lunch.
Okay. And after the award ceremony, what did y'all do?
We went back to the classroom. It was sort of, a lot of students leave during award ceremony, after award ceremony. So you kind of just have sort of a fun day. I had set up stations for my students. So some of them were playing Legos. There were board games. We used Minecraft to do math, sort of math things. So I had some students playing Minecraft. And then I had like an art station where they could paint or draw.
Okay. Did y'all have plans to go outside or anything?
We were going to go to recess about 10 minutes early. I had a student that left half a day. He only stayed at school half a day. So we were going to wait until he went and then go to recess about 10 minutes early.
Okay. And about approximately what time did you get your kids ready to go outside?
Probably around 11:20, somewhere in that vicinity. I don't know exactly.
And what were your instructions to your students regarding going outside?
They were going to line up, and we were going to walk, just out to the playground where we normally went.
Okay. And you were taking all the students at the same time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, once you get them ready to go outside, and they're starting to go outside, what happened?
We were walking out of the building, and one of my students said she left her water bottle in the classroom. So I just sort of opened the door and put my foot in front of the door, and I said, just run in and get your water bottle, it's okay. And I told the students just to keep walking out the door.
Okay. And what direction were your kids walking?
The door closest to me, so I'm sorry, I'm not very good directionally.
Is it
directionally.
the door at the bottom, the
Yes.
south end?
Yes, closest, like if we were going to the pavilion.
Okay. And again, we're looking at the board. The pavilion is on the south end. So
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
saying that
We went out the south door, yes.
south door. Your kids would have come out the south door and gone to that area. Okay. So what happened after you're holding the door open for the one student who forgot a water bottle?
One of my students opened the door to go out the south side, and they said that the coach is yelling. And I said, why? And they said, I don't know. And then, I'm sorry, I heard what sounded like fireworks. And I told the kids, come back inside. My foot was still on the door. And I said, get in the classroom and hide.
So what's going through your mind right now? You've heard that the kids have said the coach told them to get back in. You hear firecrackers. What's going through your mind?
I honestly wasn't sure, but I just thought it was something bad.
Okay. And because it's something bad, what do you go to?
Lockdown.
You immediately go to lockdown, and that's your training.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So explain to the jury what if you go to lockdown, you tell your kids to get in. Tell us what you did next.
I was going to close my blinds. My lights were already off because we were going to recess, and I heard the classroom next door was kind of loud. They didn't know anything, and so I opened the adjoining doors between me and the classroom next door, and I said, be quiet and get down. And I closed the door and then went to the blind to close the blinds.
When you went to the blinds to close the blinds, did you look outside that window?
No, I did not.
Okay. So did you get the blinds closed?
Yes.
Okay. And then what did you do?
I went, I turned around to to get with the kids, basically. And shots went through the window, and a piece of shrapnel or debris or something hit me, and I fell or jumped. I don't know what I did. I lost my glasses, and then I was worried. I'm sorry. I thought I put the kids in the worst place.
Explain to the jury what you mean by that.
Because he was shooting through the window, and the kids were directly across, and I thought I made the worst mistake I had ever made.
Okay. So what did you do then?
I crawled over to the kids, and I just started asking them, "Are y'all okay? Are y'all okay?" My ears were kind of ringing because the shots that went through the window. And one of my students said, "You were shot." And I said, "No, I'm fine. Are y'all okay?" And then I just kind of crawled in between the kids, and then I thought I needed to block them from the window, so I, as quiet as I could, turned a desk to kind of block them, which is sort of stupid, because what's that going to do?
Well, let's go back to them telling you were shot. Did you know you were shot?
I think I was sort of in shock, so not necessarily. I knew I wasn't shot. It was like debris or something.
Like shrapnel?
Yeah.
How did they know you were shot?
My shirt had a hole and I had blood on me.
So your students see you with the hole in your shirt and with blood on you. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now they're under the counter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're positioning yourself between them. And what's the reason for that?
I wanted to block them.
Okay. And what were your students doing now?
They were just being scared, obviously, but just so quiet.
Did you at any point see the shooter walking outside the building?
No, I did not.
Okay. And did you see shots coming through the windows? Where were those shots going to?
I couldn't tell. Once he shot in the window was completely like blown, like just shattered, right? And it was like, I thought at the time it was smoke, but it was like very hazy in the classroom. And I didn't have my glasses, so, because I had lost them, so, which doesn't help.
Did you feel like the shots were coming from the ceiling or coming from up top? Not at that point, no.
Okay.
Did you at some point later think that?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you think that?
Because you could see ceiling tile like on the ground.
Okay. So again, you're in the room. You're trying to position yourself between the windows and your students. And what do you hear during this time?
I heard a couple shots on the outside of the building. It sounded like hammering on the building. And then I heard shooting in the hallway.
Okay. And were you trying to think of a possible escape or something that you could do?
At some point I looked at the window because it was just shattered and I thought we could get out, but somebody shot when we were walking out of the building. Then somebody shot through the window, and then I heard shooting in the hallway, so I thought it was more than one person. And I thought our only sort of savior was that he shot through the window and my kids were so quiet, they wouldn't know we were in there. So I thought if we just stayed quiet, they would think we weren't in there.
So as you were shot and you had shrapnel, you're trying to think of a plan and you're thinking of possible scenarios. Shooting here, shooting there, shooting there. What's my best plan? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And while you're thinking all this is going through your mind, what are you telling your students?
I was just telling them to pray. I told them I loved them. And I just kept saying, like, babies, I love you. Just pray, I love you.
Okay.
I wanted to tell them it would be okay, but I wasn't sure, and I just wanted the last thing they heard was that somebody loved them. So I think I said it 1,000,000 times. I just kept saying, I love you.
Okay. At some point, did you think about your own children?
Yes. I messaged my husband and I said somebody's shooting outside the window. I love you. I'm sorry. Tell the kids I'm sorry.
Explain to the jury why you felt that you had to say you were sorry to your own children.
I thought if I didn't make it, that my kids would just always think I chose my job over them.
Your job being what?
Teaching.
And protecting those students that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you eventually get out of your room?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and who got you out? Do you remember?
I don't necessarily remember. They looked through the window because it was, like shot out. And they had, I think, just a short sleeve shirt and like a vest,
Okay.
And they asked, is anybody in here? And one of my students said something, and I was scared because I didn't know who it was. And I said, shh. And then they kind of peeked around and said, is anybody in here? And I said, yes. And so I just started lifting kids out of the window, and the people on the other side, I don't know if it was officers or border patrol or who, but would help me pull the kids through the window.
Okay. Now, Ms. Deming, you said you're still teaching.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
grade? You said for the 2021-2022, you taught 4th grade.
Yes, ma'am.
For the 2022-2023 school year, what grade did you teach?
I moved campuses. I wanted to stay with the students. I wanted to move directly to 5th grade, but they didn't have a position, so I moved to 6th grade, but I got to be on the campus with my students.
And that was intentional?
Yes, ma'am.
And for the 2023-2024 school year, what grade did you teach?
I taught 5th grade.
And again, that was...
I got to be with the students. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Going back to your students in that classroom on May 24th of 2022, what is your opinion of those students that were there with you?
They are the strongest, bravest people on this earth, on this whole earth.
And why is that?
They were just so brave. They did everything perfect that day. And I just am so thankful I got to be a tiny part of their life.
Pass the witness.
Please. Ms. Deming, is pronounced Deming?
Yes, sir.
Could you please spell it?
Deming.
Thank you. And the only reason I ask you that is because, that as you probably know, there's been a lot of reports generated and written about this, and they've kind of consistently spelled your name as Daring in the
Yes.
reports. Is that common, or is that a maiden name?
I am that or Deming with 2 M's, so yeah, it's pretty common.
Sure, because I guess one M may look like 2 R's.
Yeah.
Well, my name's Jason Goss, and I represent Adrian. And have you ever testified before?
Not like this, no, sir.
Sure. And a lot of people may expect that when it comes over here that we're going to be mean to you or disrespectful, and I just want you to know we're not. Honestly, what you did with those kids, I admire it. And you said you were lucky to be a part of their lives. I think that they were lucky to have you, right? Because, and I want to start with that training. The training that you're talking about, that's a training that's given to teachers and given to students to say, look, if something like this ever happens, you get in a room, you turn off all the lights, you be quiet, try to block the door like you were, as best that you could. and really try to make it seem like nobody's in the room, right?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, that's kind of what you were saying too. You were like, at the time that you think multiple people are coming in, you're saying, please, just hopefully they think nobody's here, right?
Yes, sir.
And those trainings, and it's important. You know, I think the reason that they have that is because it's been shown that it can save lives, because potential shooters or people wishing to do you and the children harm will pass you up, right? And so, one of the things you said, because I mean, you can't even imagine how hard it would have been for your kids to stay that quiet for that long with that going on, right? But
Yes,
they
sir.
did.
Yes, sir.
So, as far as that training though, I think the prosecutor asked you who gave the training, and you said you thought it was like administration or the school. Were these civilians or were these people in like police officer uniforms that gave the training?
I honestly, I don't remember specifically.
Okay. Do you ever remember, because I'm sure you've had a few of them, do you ever remember just in any of these kind of trainings, police officers being present at the trainings, or is it typically like school administrators or principals or vice principals or other people who come in as, you know, I guess?
Sometimes campus police might be there, but I want to say normally it's just our administration.
Sure. And at Robb Elementary at the time that you were working there, you were aware, and we've heard it from others, but you were aware that there was not a police officer actually assigned to that campus.
Yes, sir.
And so, I guess the way that they handled Robb, as far as the school district did, is that there would be police officers assigned to the high school, and then they would come, I guess, periodically at some times to check up on the elementary school. Is that how you understood it?
I only remember one officer ever coming to our campus.
Okay.
Not necessarily one time, but I only
Sure.
remember one ever coming, you know, sporadically.
Sure. And for whatever reason, funding or whatever else, it's we don't necessarily know why, but the part of, because you were there for a few years, 6 years.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, sure, 5 or 6. Was ever part of it when the officer would come? Was there ever any situation as a teacher where other teachers would get, not in trouble necessarily, but reprimanded for not having their doors locked? Do you remember any kind of time that had occurred?
I never did. If another teacher did, I wouldn't know.
Right. Yeah, and I wasn't suggesting that you had been, but I guess the idea would be that, you know, maybe was there ever a situation where teachers would text each other saying, hey, the police officer's going to come, make sure everybody's door's locked or anything like that? Did you ever get any communications?
No, sir.
Okay. Were you ever aware of the school issuing magnets that teachers would put on the door that would defeat like basically so the door wouldn't lock? It's like a magnet that'll go over the metal part of the plate, and then the door wouldn't be able to be locked.
I don't remember the school issuing magnets. I know some teachers had magnets, but I don't necessarily remember the school giving us magnets.
Right. Okay. And you yourself were never handed like a magnet?
No, sir.
Said, Ms. Deming, go, use this when you don't want to lock your door?
No, sir.
What about when you had substitutes or something? Was that when magnets were commonly used because they didn't have keys?
I didn't really have subs. I was one of those teachers.
Right.
So I'm honestly not sure.
Okay. No, then that's fair. I appreciate you answering. The coach, I guess you said that as you were taking your kids out to recess, the coach would, one of your students informed you that a coach was yelling.
Yes, sir.
Do you know which coach that was yelling?
At the time, they just said coach, so I thought Coach Gonzales, but I do not know which coach was yelling.
And I guess, did you ever, because this is how I picture, Your Honor, can I get in the well for a second?
Yes.
Thank you. I pictured it kind of like you're going out, you guys are going out, you're trying to lead your class out of out of that door there?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I picture it like you're going to lead them out. One kid leaves a water bottle, and so now you're going, okay, you go
Yes.
here and you go here.
Yes, sir.
And you're kind of in the hallway. One comes back in and says, hey, coach is yelling. Did you ever make it out to see like what was happening? So
No,
you kind
sir.
of stayed in that middle ground right
Yes,
there
sir.
between the student going back and the students going out.
Yes, sir.
And then told them all, get back in here. Okay. When you heard what you thought sounded like fireworks.
Yes, sir.
I guess one of the things that you said was that I guess y'all were planning on doing recess a little early.
Yes, sir.
Was there any reason for that?
It was just fun.
Yeah. A cool teacher
It was
brings
just-
kids out to recess early, but like I know we've heard other testimony than you said yourself. It was a special day, and did any of your kids go home after the ceremony, or did they all stay with you?
I had about 4 students that went home after the ceremony.
And was that been a typical and common thing?
No, most of my kids wanted to stay with me. A lot of classes had way less students.
After listening to your testimony, I can understand why. But I guess the idea is, did you know that it was common maybe for, I guess in your school at the time, was it just generally known that, hey, after awards, your parents want to take you to go eat pizza and go to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, that you can do that, and, we're not counting you absent and we're not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so in these kind of special end of the year days like that, there may have been less kids at the school, thankfully, for that
Yes, sir.
reason.
Yes, sir.
But that wouldn't have been an everyday thing. I mean, parents
No.
can't pick them up half day.
No, sir.
Right. Okay. So would you agree? So I don't know. I mean, you were obviously going through, one of the most traumatic things anybody can go through, right, at the time. So I don't know if you know what this looked like, but when you had the lights out, and when you had your students down, and when they were all being very quiet and very brave, would you agree that it would appear as if your classroom was empty?
I thought, yes, sir.
Right, because that was the purpose, is to make it look like nobody's in there. You said when they finally got you out, they get you out to the window, and the window's in the back,
Yes, sir.
and you and the students, and you're helping bring down the students. And those were officers that were helping you guys get out, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you know at the time that the monster who had hurt the kids in 111 and 112 was dead?
No, I did not.
Did you know if he was alive?
No.
Okay. So did the officers who were getting you out have a sense of urgency about getting you to safety and the children?
They pulled us through the window and said, run.
Right. Suggesting that the threat is not over.
Exactly.
And so even though you may not know for sure, all the clues around it told you that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so you, I'm sure, and felt that you and the children were still in danger, and everybody around you were still in potential danger from whatever was going on.
Yes, sir.
Right. Did you know that one of those officers pulling the kids out of the windows over there was Adrian?
I didn't remember anybody. I mean, I knew people were pulling us out. I did not know who it was.
Right. And so you would agree that those officers that were doing that in your room and the rooms next to it, because the other rooms were getting pulled out too, right? Like down that row, they're pulling the kids out and the teachers who were in those rooms.
Yes, sir.
And you'd agree that those officers were doing a good thing.
I was thankful.
Right. And Adrian, as part of those officers, would have been doing a good thing trying to evacuate the kids and the teachers out from further danger.
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness.
No other questions, Your Honor?
Recall?
No recall from the state.
Oh, Judge, no, we don't need her subject to recall.
You're excused. Thank you very much. Not subject to recall. Okay. Your next witness.
The state calls Nicole Osborne.